The brothers.
Yeah, but I was quoting Anchorman.
I know. I was quoting Parks and Rec.
I win.
Are we rolling?
VG Bros are back. Welcome back. We got a pickup video this week. I didn't pick anything up. Season's pretty much over.
I think it's over. This is like 3 weeks ago. I haven't even been out since then.
Yeah, so I've learned some lessons this year. I just moved to a brand new area. Lesson number one, I got a garage sale somewhere else besides this area because it's all old people and they don't have video games.
Okay, that's not entirely fair because I've been garage selling in this area and I found a ton of younger people. You just got to figure out which neighborhoods are...
I'm going to the wrong neighborhoods because all I'm finding is old people.
Here's the thing. Where we live in North Idaho, you just take my neighborhood, for example. Next door, old and retired. Next door to them, 30s with multiple children. And then a couple houses down there, like 85 years old. They're spread in. There's no, like, you can't just go into a community and go, oh, this is just going to be a bunch of retired people. And or you can't just go, oh, this is all young families. Everything is so spread out evenly, and it's really hard. You got to get good at, like, looking at their front lawn and just going, let's see. There's a bunch of garden gnomes and like super manicured lawn. I look for things like a basketball hoop, right? Bicycles.
Yeah.
And if I see that stuff, okay, there's kids, that's a young family. But when you see a front lawn that looks like your grandma might live there.
It looks like Biff's grandma's
Exactly.
lawn in 1955.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just keep going. You just keep going.
Yeah. So I think that's my lesson. I got to find some better demographics because every sale, I actually went out today. I hit 5 or 10 sales. Every one of them was old people.
And the other demographic that you want to avoid, there's a lot of this in Idaho, which is your homeschool kids. Now, it's not that homeschool kids don't have video games. They're too smart to sell them at garage sales.
That's right.
They are. You watch those spelling bees when they can spell like every word. Like, that's not really an
They're all
exaggeration.
homeschooled kids.
They're so smart.
Yeah.
You go through these garage sales and it's like you see homeschooling curriculum that they're selling, turn around and go the other way. Unless you just want to buy some Kirk Cameron movies that they probably have, just turn around and go the other way. Well, anyway, this was actually old people that I went to, and they didn't have any games sitting out, but I started just chatting with the guy, and his wife was there, and she said, yeah, we have old video games. She said, I'll be right back. She goes inside. 10 minutes later, she comes out with like an Xbox. And I'm like, oh, geez, what have I got myself into? OG Xbox, right? And then I'm like, well, I'm looking for Nintendo stuff. Oh, yeah, I'll be right back. And then she comes out, she's on the phone. She's talking to her son, who's like in his 30s. And she has a box now full of other stuff. So you can just set that down.
I forgot how heavy this was.
I know, right?
Oh, goodness.
So we got N64, Xbox, 2 N64 controllers, PS2 Slim box, and a PS Fat that doesn't work.
Boo.
I know.
The box is pretty cool. I love console boxes. I always have.
Oh yeah.
I'm a sucker for console boxes.
Yeah. They look great on display.
Yeah.
Bunch of controllers, Xbox, PS2 controllers. The bonus game in the Xbox, Amped 2. I don't know. So all the cords and controllers are in the box. The Xbox works. The N64 works. And she says, she's on the phone with her son, and she says, okay, goodbye. She hangs up, and then she says, okay, he'll sell everything except for the Nintendo Wii. It's like, except for Nintendo, and I'm like, all I really want is the N64 stuff, And she didn't bring out a Wii. I mean, I don't even care. I have 4 of them. I don't care about a Wii. So anyway, paid $60 for everything, and at this point, people were starting to pile in behind me in the driveway because I was there for a while, probably like 20 minutes, and I could hear people talking. I could hear kids say, "Dad, look, Mario!" And like there was an older guy that I know he was a picker, and he was just like staring at this table, like waiting for me, hoping that I'm gonna walk away.
Nightmare.
So I didn't have time to really look at the games or anything. I gave him $60. I don't know. We can go through the games. FIFA 98. Don't get excited. The new Tetris. That's actually a really good game.
That is so. This is we were just talking about this. The new Tetris for N64. This is my favorite version of Tetris. It really is. They've released Tetris a ton over the years. Every system has a variation of it. I like this one the best. It's really fun.
Awesome.
You make these perfect squares with if you have like all four straight lines or all four blocks, and then you get more points for getting rid of those squares. I don't know. There's something like extra addicting about this version.
It's a ton of fun.
It's a ton of fun.
Really, really addictive gameplay. Aero Fighters Assault. This is worth significantly less than Aero Fighters on the Super Nintendo that I found once.
Significantly?
Yeah.
At least you can say you found Aero Fighters again.
This is like a $9 game. Why couldn't this be really rare? I don't know. GoldenEye.
GoldenEye. Everyone's excited about that. Switch Online.
You don't really find an N64 bundle without GoldenEye. NASCAR 99. Oh, it gets better. Madden.
Oh man, we need to get our guns out again. Shoot some of these games.
Kobe Bryant in NBA courtside.
Kobe. Ooh.
Mission Impossible.
This game is actually interesting. So I remember leading up to this game's release, this was hyped big time in all the game magazines.
Because GoldenEye was so good, they thought, this
was before GoldenEye.
Oh, it was.
This was super, super hyped leading up to it. And then GoldenEye came out. And this just disappeared for a while. You didn't even hear about it for a while. And eventually it did come out. But what I read was that, who was a developer? Ocean, I think, made Mission Impossible. When GoldenEye came out, they played that. They were just like, oh crap. Like, back to the drawing board, guys. Because this was so primitive compared to GoldenEye. And both of them were, I think, I've never played Mission Impossible, but based on a movie, kind of stealth, tactical, shooting at bad guys kind of a game. And apparently this is not good. Eventually they did release it, obviously, but I don't think anybody really likes it that much.
So I don't know, $60.
Yeah, got a couple of nice controllers.
Yeah, the sticks are pretty good.
Yeah,
you could do worse. If there's no Mario Party, then the sticks are going to be pretty good. That's typically the rule. Probably the last find of the season.
All right, we'll see you next year, everybody. It's been real.
It's been fun. I had a pretty good year overall, but I had a lot of time I was unemployed most of the summer.
Didn't really have a lot to do.
I didn't. So I went out every Friday. I was out there. I found a lot of good stuff this year. I think this is the third N64 I found. I had to take this one apart. The reset button was stuck, but
I have one with a stuck reset button. I should give it to you.
I have a tool now. I can help you out. Yeah, you just take it apart and clean it. I mean, yeah, it works. I've never had an N64 console that didn't work. Ever. I
have. But yeah, I mean, pre-CD-ROM, like there's no moving parts in there. It's all solid state, and unless it gets really dirty, like they do tend to hold up pretty well.
Next year you're gonna have a lot more time to garage sale, and you're gonna kind of be better at which houses and which neighborhoods to pick and choose.
I'll know the area a little better.
Yeah.
I think back in the Seattle area, there's a lot of like senior housing, and a lot of retired people end up going and living in these 55 plus communities, and I don't really see that much out here. I mean,
there's a couple of them.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't go there. I know exactly where it is, and I don't go there.
Yeah.
I will say this. So the great Bithead 1000 once gave this advice when you're garage sailing.
Yeah.
Don't go to the rich neighborhoods and don't go to the poor neighborhoods.
Yeah.
You want to find a good in between. And I've made that mistake this year a few times. When you go to those neighborhoods where it's a 4,000 square foot house, beautifully landscaped and everything, guarantee that there's no kids around.
Yeah.
Kids are long gone. Because who can afford a house like that when they're in their 30s?
In my experience, neighborhoods that are very wealthy, they tend to overprice everything.
Yeah.
And they're smart.
Yeah.
They're wealthy for a reason. They're not idiots. They're not they're not going to be like, oh, derp, I have some Nintendo games I'm just going to bring out and sell them to you for next to nothing. Like, they know what they have, and I totally agree. You want middle class.
Yep.
Yeah.
You go to the poorest neighborhoods, and they probably couldn't afford the video games to begin with. So they don't.
Yeah. Every now and again, I'd end up in a really poor neighborhood, and like, I'm not trying to insult poor people or anything, but it's just my experience in those neighborhoods. Everything is very dirty and not well taken care of.
And they've got second-hand price stickers. All like the video games were already bought second or third hand, and you're the fourth owner. And they've got nothing
scratches on everything.
Oh yeah, filthy scratches.
Yeah,
missing manuals.
You want
missing
the middle
discs.
class neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean, if they've got young kids in the house, you might think, well, they're just gonna have kiddie games, but guys,
their dad is our age.
The dad is our age.
Yeah.
That was the point I was going to make.
Yeah.
And a couple of times this year, I've actually found that a couple of really good scores. It was someone my age, and he's like, "Yeah, I got this box of games from my childhood. Here you go."
Perfect.
Yeah. So next year should be a lot better for both of us, and we're gonna have a Christmas video this year. So it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it won't get copyright strike. Our last Christmas video got a copyright strike.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What did we do?
We were talking about Christmas movies.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
You're allowed to talk about movies on YouTube. People do it all the time.
I'm really sorry, Hollywood, that I told people that they should watch these movies, and I may have given you some free advertising. Really, really sorry about that.
What is wrong with these people?
Seriously.
Yeah, all we were doing was talking about our favorite movies.
I overlaid some footage. That's probably what did it. Ugh, come on.
People do that all the time.
I didn't overlay a whole movie. It's so stupid. I don't even care, quite honestly.
The people that do that, do they get permission or something? Like, why?
I don't know how it works. Our channel is not monetized, so it doesn't really affect me, I don't think. It's just kind of stupid. It's like,
wow.
Until then, just go out and play the games that you found. Just not this one.
We got some good games coming up. The Nintendo Direct a few days ago was really exciting. I mean, I heard a lot of people complain about it, but I'm excited. Like, this is like the best Nintendo Direct I think I've ever seen.
It was like all RPGs.
It was all RPGs.
I was like, thank you, Jesus.
How many Square RPGs were there?
Oh my goodness, we're so spoiled.
So many.
We're so spoiled. And we've got the Dealfield Chronicles coming out pretty soon. Ogre Battle Tactics or something is coming out pretty soon.
Fire Emblem, another
Octopath Traveler.
Another Octopath Traveler.
Oh, man.
A real sequel, not some stupid phone game.
I know.
Yeah.
And then Zelda in May.
Zelda, we got official title, a release date, some gameplay footage, which I thought was really interesting. There's
much. A lot to pick apart.
There's a lot there. It looks like some new rune abilities that I'm excited about. So yeah, I'm stoked about Zelda.
So much coming out. If you're a Nintendo and an RPG fan like we are, if you haven't already noticed, there's just so much coming out to play.
Yeah, and everyone went ecstatic about GoldenEye. I watched all those like reaction videos.
Oh, seriously?
I'm not even gonna play. Yeah, it's fun. I'm not even gonna play GoldenEye. I loved it back in the day as much as anyone, but man, it's not as fun as you remember, people. And I'm sure they'll fix the controls. I mean, they have to. They can't expect people to play with a 1997
when this
move
is
and
right
strafe control scheme. Like, come on. I hope they don't expect us to play like that.
I don't even have the expansion to play it, so...
You don't need the expansion pack to play. Oh, you're talking about on Switch?
Yeah, the Switch, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I bought it. I don't know if I'll renew it, but, there's a lot of Genesis games and N64 games. And,
I almost fell asleep during that sentence.
Genesis does.
Well, the Genesis Mini 2 is coming out.
Yeah, and that's intriguing. There's a couple of Sega CD games on there.
Crusaders of Senti is on there. I didn't know that. I'm going to buy it just for that game.
That game's so expensive.
It's like a $900 game now. And I've always wanted to play it, but I'm like, I'm not into emulation, and I don't want to spend $900 on a game.
Yeah. Well, I don't understand. They're teasing us with these Sega CD titles. Why not make a Sega CD Mini and give us all those RPGs that we have no other way to play?
All those working designs, RPGs. Yeah. I kind of think that they lost the ROMs on a lot of those.
That's possible.
Or they got corrupted. It's kind of amazing that a lot of these ROMs, that for a lot of companies, even lasted over the decades because, I mean, at the time you come out with a game, you know, Konami releases Contra 3 on the Super Nintendo. Okay. Why would they ever think that they can make any more money in the future on this game other than what they're going to make right here and now on the Super Nintendo? And yet, you know, Konami, Nintendo, Capcom, Square, etc., for the most part, they kept all those ROMs. People are saying Sony lost, or not Sony, Square lost the Final Fantasy VIII ROM because that took the longest to kind of come back into current consoles, you know?
Okay.
But it's amazing that they kept what they did, because why would they ever think they're ever going to need it again?
Some companies had more foresight than others. I mean, Nintendo, as far back as the early 90s, they were re-releasing, you know, like Super Mario All-Stars, right? They were taking old product and re-releasing it with updated graphics. And so someone might have thought, you know, at some point they'll do the same thing with other games. I don't know.
I mean, obviously they thought that because everybody kept everything. Well, again, we don't know about working designs. I mean, who knows what happened with that?
Yeah, I don't know. And there's no other way to play so many of those games.
I know.
Some of them might be on Steam, but I think there's a lot of them that are not.
I don't know.
I was excited about the Direct. I don't care what anybody says. I thought it was great. When the next Zelda game comes out, I should just take a week off of work when that game.
Oh man,
we're
so both excited. Huge Breath of the Wild fans.
Yeah.
So to have a title on the new game and a release date and everything, it's like Christmas for us.
Yeah. What else do you want to talk about?
Yeah. Does anybody ever does anyone still play these sports games like FIFA? Because I know people are really into the wrestling games on the N64.
Oh yeah.
They're still into that to this day. But like, does anyone play FIFA or NASCAR or Madden on the N64? I'm assuming they've aged like really, really crappy. But I don't know. I never played them back then, and I've never played them now, so I'm just assuming. I don't really know.
I don't know. Maybe a FIFA, but like Madden, you know, they make another one every year, and every year it's better and updated rosters, and like, who wants to go back and play Madden 98?
I wonder if it's kind of a fun time capsule. Like if you put in, this is just says Madden 64, so I don't even know what year this came out. But, you know, late
90s.
Yeah, late 90s game. Like, I don't know, you put it in and, you know, can you play as, you know, trying to think of a famous NFL player from the late 90s. I can't think of a single one.
I mean, Brett Favre was around.
Yeah, Brett Favre.
Then.
There we go.
Was Emmitt Smith still playing?
Probably, yeah. Maybe even Troy Aikman.
Steve Young.
Yeah. Okay, there's a few. But, like, are they in this game? Like, that's what's fun about Tecmo Bowl and the NES.
Yeah.
If you play the original version. Bo Jackson is there.
Yeah.
So many famous running backs and receivers that, it's really, really cool. It's a cool time capsule. And I'm just kind of wondering about these kind of games, if it's, you know, kind of the same thing. But I have no idea because I won't ever play this game.
All right.
I guess that's it.
I guess that's all we got.
All right.